Ankara was considered as tabula rasa for the new Turkish state and its principles. Metu can also be regarded in such way, since it was constructed as a center for the new principle of higher education. Moreover, Metu was considered as an appropriate model for further university campus designs in post-war Turkey. During the Republican period, the state had maintained control over almost everything while framing the norms and standards of public life. This also reflected in architecture, as the authorities paid significant attention to nature under jurisdiction, which caused strict observations over environmental and urban projects. The idea behind establishing Middle East Technical University was to have its future students, which are to be Turkish students and students from other countries with similar pre-qualification, receive advanced education in the scientific, technical, and professional fields with a qualified education of English language. Transformation of a barren land into one of the most prestigious universities in Turkey and Turkish modernism are consequences of how the state and Turkish intelligentsia reflected their ideology and perception of a utopia in barren lands of Anatolia. Metu, abbreviation for the Middle East Technical University, was planned to be a research stronghold not only for Turkey but also for Middle East region in general, as its name suggests. The campus was to be a secular center for academic research. Construction of Metu not only provided Turkey a prestigious university, but also is a proof of how architecture and urban design changed the landscape of the selected area from a barren land into a desirable and invited institution. The Middle East Technical University was established in 1956, and 5 years later a competition was opened for the campus design in Metu's current location. Design of Altu and Behruz Çinici was ultimately selected and the construction started on the 11th of May, 1962. The location of Metu campus was expected to shape not only its environment, but also social life within its area, as the selected site for the project was far away from Ankara's center. It was expected that students would face difficulties in sharing social and cultural aspects of Ankara. In order to provide social and cultural functions for students, the campus was designed as it was a city itself. In such manner, it was aimed that student life and education extend beyond class hours, where both can take place in nearby professors' residences, in student dormitories, on the open areas and public spaces such as dining hall. Moreover, close connection between students from other departments and between students and staff was concerned. Connection between residential, recreational, educational, and athletic facilities was concerned.
The idea of university as a society and university was acknowledged quickly, and the second competition was held in 1959. The idea of university as a society and university was acknowledged quickly, and a second competition was held in 1959. The project of Altu and Behruz Çinici was awarded with first prize out of 21 contestants. According to the jury report, the reasons behind why design of Çinicis was selected were utilization of the area and architectural qualification, especially elaboration of dormitories, academic center, and faculty guest houses. The competition was concluded on 21st of August 1961, and on 15th of October a contract was signed by Çinicis, which included creation of Faculty of Architecture and campus master plan. The completion of project continued until late 70s, although the university campus was moved much before, on 1st of October 1963, after the completion of Faculty of Architecture and main infrastructure. Since the Faculty of Architecture was the only building existed when the campus moved in its current location, the building also housed other facilities such as rectorate, library, and amphitheater. Metu was proposed not only to house educational facilities, but also to become a distinct society in its own. This proposal also reflected the development of academic program and campus design. The university's development is related to influence from the West. The root idea of the development of the Metu campus is accordingly to the United Nations, United States policy, and the American tradition of idyllic campus environments. Apart from urban and environmental designs, higher education was also in agenda of the state projects, as a new environmental planning was shaped with respect to existing establishments. As final plan of the foundation of Metu over Ankara's barren environment, further urbanization projects were to be considered. The Metu project reflects ideological principles of the new republic with Ankara, the new capital. Metu and Ankara also became symbols for Turkish modernism. Both architecture and landscape were overlaid with infrastructure blueprints in order to complete the vision of the Metu project. However, the layout of main pedestrian walkway, the alley, was designed as the major element for the regulation of the project to bring order to anything visible on surface. In modern concept of architecture, urban community must be provided with better social utilities and functional performances. In this sense, pedestrian alley of Metu was regarded as the heart of an emerging communal life, as it was an exact requirement of modernist urbanism.
The alley had to be adjusted to indicate where facilities with different purposes, such as sport facilities or teaching units, are located. Furthermore, it was to provide a pedestrian network regulating passages that connect the facilities, recreation pools, large lawns for public gathering. All was considered as essential for an attractive urban area. In other terms, tunnels, pedestrian walkways, and the alley were designed to give an order to this landscape. The elements of modern architecture are widely visible within the campus. Systematic and orderly placement of infrastructure of buildings, courtyards, and passages in a very complex grid system is an example. Further examples include use of flat roofs, band windows, concrete, and brick, which are not covered, thus visible on facades, transition between open and closed spaces through transparent elements. Metu campus was not designed in an international style. It was designed in modern architecture with significant interpretation of local elements. Modern architecture did not concern with overall society. However, it was an important idea as it achieved holistic and future-oriented designs. Metu was a project initiated with United Nations support, and the project was shaped significantly with help of the United States. Influences of both parties caused the unique project, as Metu eventually reflected European influence in principle and American influence in practice. It reflected American vision of university campuses, but also an example of European modernism in terms of architectural style. It may be concluded that influence of American urbanization policies and strategies of landscape developments were interpreted within Turkish modernism. The first faculty building in Metu was designed as a complex building whose central alley transforms into small courtyards covered with instructors' offices and educational units. Courtyards provide light to the adjacent spaces, but also give a sense of orientation by use of transparent spaces. Transparency is understood here both in its literal and phenomenal sense, as the main facades, the arcade, and the courtyards of the building complex connect all of the interior spaces to each other and make the surrounding landscape visible through them. Modernism, which includes elements such as flat roofs, large glass surfaces, uncovered concrete and brick facades, and lack of ornaments is visible through the entire campus of Metu. Apart from that, there are very subtle details that remind Bauhaus traditions.